They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, you need it. They say this is a big rich town. They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, you need it. They say this is a big rich town. They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, you need it.
If it ain't official Dana J, Prima Donna News, I don't even want to see it.
But I know that there's more. More for you, more for us.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking that pandemic.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking that pandemic.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking that pandemic.
Say you love it, what you gon' do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Girl, you know that I will never disrespect you. We love tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spend you. That ass count, gotta make it last now. Start off so, then I'ma beat it up.
The miseducation.
Now I don't, I used to love him. Now I don't. You might win some, but you really lost one. You just lost one. It's so silly, how come? When it's all done, did you really gain from what you done? It's so silly, how come? You just lost one. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Watch out, watch out. Look out, look out. Watch out, watch out. Look out, look out. Guys, you know you better watch out. Yeah, some girls are only about to that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing, that tried to walk away. You hurt yourself to make me stay. This is crazy, 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 crazy.
Care for me, I know you care for me, there for me.
Some guys, you know you'll
Be there for me, cry for me. You said you died for me, give to me. Why won't you live for me?
when it hurts so bad. When it hurts so bad. Ooh, when it hurts so bad. When it hurts so bad. Now the joy of my world is in Zion. Tell him be alright, be alright.
You're just too good to be true. Be there for me.
Oh man. Shout out everybody that's here. I was supposed to be going live today about something totally different. I can't believe this. Great friend. Gone. Great friend. Gone. I don't know how to put it, but I'm gonna give what I know of as tribute to my boy. You know, you look up to certain people that you grew up with, and Aaron was one of them. Don't know what else to really say because his work spoke for him. He came out the church, and I remember he recorded himself playing drums, and he sent it in on cassette. He sent it in to Usher, and the Usher brought him in, and it was all she wrote after that. Once Usher brought him in, it was over after that. So, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. This is hard. So I'm gonna do it like this, man. Let's kick it off like this. I'm gonna do it like this. So with that being said, right? Ern passed away yesterday. Well, in the middle of the night at 1. Sad. I'll never be able to joke with my boy no more. I'll never be able to call him on the phone. Crack jokes. But his wife left this. It is with a heavy heart and overwhelming sadness that I share the news of the passing of my beloved husband, Aaron Spears. Aaron was not only an incredible accomplished drummer, admired by many for his unparalleled talent and passion for music, but he was also a devoted father to our precious son, August. His love, guidance, and warmth were the pillars of our family, and his absence leaves a void that words cannot describe. We were blessed to have him in our lives, and his legacy will live on through the beautiful rhythms he created and the love he shared with us. We appreciate all the thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. Please remember Aaron for the incredible person he was and the amazing music he brought into our world. At this time, we ask for privacy as we work our way through this. With love, Jessica and August. It's weird because Aaron's love was felt throughout the world. I mean the world. And I can't help but to take it back. I gotta go Ern. I gotta take it back to Ern Gideon Band when people didn't know too much about church and the way we set ablaze in church. So let's go here. Let's do it like this. So what I was telling y'all about is that he sent in a cassette tape, right? He was playing. He sent a cassette tape, and he sent it to Usher, and he just wanted to play for somebody and be heard. With that, it landed him a gig, and the gig it landed him was right here. Yeah. The gig it landed him, he got the call back from Usher, and it was all she wrote from that point. And the way it landed like this. Man, and just in case if folks just don't understand what it is,
transgender.
I'm talking about that. If folks don't understand what it is, there it go live right there.
Pop a collar to this. If you a player, pop a collar to this. Gangsta. Pop a bottle to this. If you pimpin', pop a bottle to this. Come on.
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good evening. Hope your day was blessed. Here to have a conversation about the music industry in general. But I do have a jumping off point that I want to use to get into a deeper conversation. And to that end, I got one of the homies to come through and chop up some game with me. The great Kevin Hayden of Kevin Hayden Media, producer extraordinaire, podcast producer, doing his thing out there in the Midwest. Plenty of experience in the music game. An accomplished drummer in his own right. Decided to come through and hang out with your boy for about a half hour. We're not going to be in front of y'all long, but just wanted to have a conversation on this day that a friend of ours has passed away. So if you don't mind, give me about 60 seconds as a moment of silence in remembrance of Aaron Spears. All right, y'all. Looks like we've had some people come into the room. Glad that everybody has taken out some time in their evening to spend it with us on this sad day. Jerry G, what's up? Dr. D, see you in the comments. Thank you for stopping by. Myself and Mr. Hayden here have both had pretty lengthy experience with Aaron Spears. I think I came across Aaron in 2004 or so, right as I started Gospel Chops. He was on the radar immediately. And we communicated on social media. He dapped me up for the positive things that we had going on. And I actually invited him to be on one of my DVD projects. I would see Aaron at the NAMM show, the big music convention in LA, and he was always super nice, super cordial. And it always struck me because he was different. Aaron was one of the good guys, and you'd be like, yo, man, why are you so jolly all the time? Why are you always happy and smiling and jovial? That was what I knew about Aaron Spears. Last time I talked to Aaron had to be several years ago when he was trying to build a coalition in the music business. He had gotten some musicians together and was trying to build a team and organize musicians. It sounded like it was, when he pitched it to me, it sounded like it was kind of a musicians union type of thing. I wasn't sure where he was going, but he rang my phone one day and I'm like, yo, Aaron Spears. We exchanged numbers years ago, but never really hit each other up like that. He called me and was like, yo, can you be a part of this? If we can put all of our influence together, we can bring about change in this music business. And in that conversation, which was the last time I spoke to Aaron several years ago, I ended up kind of scolding him because I was like, yo, man, we don't need them for anything. This is like old school thinking in the game. Like, we need the companies. We need the distributors. We need the labels. We need the drum companies. No. The game had evolved. Things had changed. And I expressed to him my feeling on it because I had always been about independence in music and still am. I don't think that will ever change, y'all. But I expressed to him, man, do you know who you are? You are Aaron Spears. And he just kind of chuckled it off. And I always felt from that conversation like he didn't understand how great he was, how influential he was. Like, this man influenced a generation of musicians, young musicians who are now coming of age. See, I'm in the 40 club. Kev, you in the 40 club. This man is in our generation. And he was so influential. I feel like he was taken too soon. I always felt like he didn't realize the impact that he really had on a global scale for young musicians. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the jumping off point that we're going to start with tonight. Honoring this man and taking the conversation a step further to say, in the wake of this man's death, what can we do as an industry? What lessons can we learn from the life of Aaron Spears? Ladies and gentlemen, the Midwest King himself, drummer extraordinaire, Mr. Kevin Hayden. Go ahead and introduce yourself and talk to the people.
Well, first, let me just say thank you for having me. You know, I had to dust off the computer and recalibrate the camera and make sure everything was updated. It's been a while since I've been live. I've been podcast producing, like you stated, but it's been a while since I've been live and come before the people. But I got a ton of messages today and a ton of inboxes and phone calls of the news today, and it's just been heavy on everybody. And people are like, I know you're gonna speak. I know you're gonna speak. And I didn't know what I'd say. I can't say that I didn't plan on speaking, but I just, you know, sometimes when you're trying to still process something, you want to be short with your words. So I almost left my camera in Milwaukee. I was in Milwaukee, and when I got back to Chicagoland, I said, "Oh man, I got the text from you. Let's go live." I said, "Oh, that's why I brought my camera, because I almost left it in Milwaukee." But for the folks who don't know me, I'm Kevin Hayden. As Gerald stated before, drummer and, you know, a longtime drummer. Made my name in the music industry quite well over the years in that 40 club. So I've been doing this a long time, and, you know, throughout the years became a professional industry observer and commentator, where I would give commentation or I would commentate on the happenings in the musician community, primarily the Black musician community is where the focus is, but we're inclusive of everybody. You know, we would touch on a wide range of subjects that would happen, but more of the backstage stuff, and not necessarily what happens on stage, but backstage. We'll tackle the tough topics that need to get discussed, and things that need to be talked about worldwide. So it's just a pleasure being on this platform that you have built so well, giving these people, your people, such good quality content. Been watching you and learning from you, and so happy for your success, and happy to call you friend.
Appreciate it.
And mentor. You've helped guide my career. It's funny because you poured into me, and then you're like, well, I want to get out here, and I was able to pour into you. And I think that's one of the lessons that we could learn. You talked about what lesson we could learn from Aaron Spears. I think that is one of the lessons, because he poured into a lot of people, poured happiness, joy, and he changed the narrative without like putting a title on it or coming out publicly and changing the narrative. But we know, you know, people were shocked at how nice he was. And I was talking to a musician today, and he said, yeah, he was so nice. He was so nice. And I said, isn't it crazy that people were shocked about how nice he was? I said, you're supposed to be a nice person.
Right.
That you're supposed to wake up and be good to people.
Right.
But it's so not common. It is such a rare trait and such a rare gesture to be nice that Aaron stood out.
Yes.
Like one of the craziest thing, like we know he's just an accomplished drummer and he can do this and he can play this and he can do that. But the main thing that people are saying is how nice he was, how generous with information he was, how just loving and caring and positive he was. And that is such a trip, because when people talk about honoring people who've come before us, okay, maybe we following those footsteps, where it's be kind whenever possible, and then realizing it's always possible to be kind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut that. If you want to go look at the video, go look at the video. But I want to say this. Fellas, ladies, go get checked. I never knew that a blood clot would take my friend away from here. A blood clot that transformed to a tumor, and it took him away from here. It goes back to, and I don't know if he took the shot or not, so I ain't gonna sit up here and say, oh yeah, it's because of COVID. I don't know if he took the COVID shot. But what I will say is, go get checked. I mean, y'all hear people talking. The only thing they keep saying is, he was so nice. He was nice. One of the nicest people that you can ever meet. He'd crack on you now. I ain't gonna lie to you. He'd crack on you now. And boy, was he funny at times. But Aaron was a great person. A great person. And people only know him because of Usher. I mean, you gotta know Aaron before Usher. You gotta know Aaron before Usher. And you gotta know Aaron outside of Usher. You gotta know Aaron for Aaron. You gotta know the jokester Aaron. And you gotta know the passionate Aaron. The passionate Aaron. The passionate Aaron, what I mean is, when people ain't know about Aaron, I'm going to give you the passion. So yes, I'm going to give you a little bit of that. And yes, he's from DC. Yes, he's one of the original put me in the pocket guys. Aaron Spears had a pocket that was out of this world. The pocket that made you think his chops was his pocket. He was just that smooth. So before I get out of here and talking about Aaron, I'm going to give you... No, before I do that, I'm going to play the American Idol tour. 14 years ago.
I found the crown.
14 years ago, the American Idol tour. This is when we knew Aaron was destined for greatness. And that was Aaron playing drums standing up. So, before I get out of here, right, I'm going to give you Aaron last words. Well, not last words, but one of Aaron interviews. And I see, you know, small world, people know Aaron, and it's crazy. Only thing I can say is for everybody that have that one person, just love on that one person. Love on that one person. I'm not going to put all that on there. I'm not going to put all that in there. So I'm going to just knock this out and do it like this.
Most people have no clue that in 2023 the best way to make money on Amazon is not.
Shout out to Andy Lander.
Aaron Spears, drummer, has suddenly passed away as reported earlier at the age of 47. The music community is mourning the ultimate demise of accomplished drummer and musician Aaron Spears, who was confirmed dead on Monday, October 30th, that was 2023, by his family. The news has left a profound impact, with many hearts scared by the sudden loss of this talented artist and drummer. Spears was known for his unparalleled talent and passion for music, was a beloved figure in the industry, and the cause of his death has not been disclosed, and adding on air of mystery to the tragic news that has sent shockwave through the music world since the announcement of his passing. So an outpouring of condolences has flooded in from fans, fellow musicians, and industry peers. Many have paid tribute to Spears, remembering the significant contribution made to the world of music. In the statements released in the videos, expressed their grief and shared the fond memories of working with the drummer. In an emotional statement, Jessica Spears, Aaron's wife, spoke about the profound loss and the impact it has had on their family. She described Aaron not only as an incredible accomplished drummer, but also as a devoted father to their son. August, she highlighted Aaron's love, guidance, and warmth as the foundation of the family, expressing that his absence has left an indescribable void. And in a statement, she said, "We are blessed to have him in our lives, and his legacy will live on through the beautiful rhythms he created and the love he shared with us." Jessica said in her statement, the grieving family has requested privacy as they navigate through these difficult, trying, hard times. And as the music world comes to terms with the loss of Aaron Spears, thoughts and prayers are extended to his family and loved ones. The legacy of the extraordinary musician will endure through the memories he created. Condolences to the family of Aaron Spears during these difficult, trying, hard times. Sir, thank you so much for watching.
We are here. This episode is called "The Music Industry Hates Church," and so we got a great show that is going to be incredible. We got Aaron Spears, international drummer, sensation.
Out to Amy today.
We are here with the Everybody Hates Church podcast, and y'all, I am super excited. Y'all, I got here with me on episode 2 of Everybody Hates Church, your favorite musician's favorite drummer. This brother has been on every drum magazine cover you can imagine. Modern Drummer, SA Drummer, Rhythm Magazine. I used to say DMV legend, but his gift has taken him all across the world. He's not just a DMV legend. He is a worldwide legend on the drums, and somebody that man, we grew up in the same spaces, grew up together, man, and I'm blessed to call him my friend, and I'm so ecstatic that he is here to be a part of the Everybody Hates Church podcast. Y'all give it up for Aaron Spears.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Bobby, thank you for having me. I appreciate you making the call. Thank you, brother.
Man, I hope you feel that love, man, because it's so genuine, man. Our area is so proud of you, man. Like we see you on TV, and we see, you know, what the places that the Lord has taken you, man, and you know, you know how church people are. Church people are like, man, I knew that. Man, I knew him when he used to play. We used to play drums over at New Vision.
Facts. Yeah.
And man, we've seen the Lord, man, just really do amazing things in your life, man, and take you everywhere. And so, man, just man, tell us, bro, just how just reflecting on what the Lord has done, man. Just how. One thing I wanted to say is of all the Lord has done, man, you're probably one of the most humble brothers I've ever met, man, and we appreciate that so much about you.
I always just feel like, man, it's hard to be, boastful or take credit for something that you didn't do. You know, I mean, yeah, I shot the shots in the gym, I practiced and stuff like that, but none of that stuff, the things that I've been able to do wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for God. So I feel like to take credit for something that he's done is it's like plagiarism. Yeah. And I can't be that person. I recognize that it's him, and I can't be proud, in the things that I've done just because it's bigger than me. Sure. So I think that really helps me to stay humble, and my wife, whenever I get home, telling me to take the trash out, clean the dishwasher, that type of stuff helps to keep me,
love it, for sure. Absolutely. Wives have the tendency of, of doing that, bro. They'll
like, baby, I just got finished playing in front of 30,000 people. Yeah, I know, but you didn't take the trash out. Can you make sure you?
Yes. They'll let you know that your stuff stink, man.
Yeah,
like, like the people watching you drum don't get close enough to smell you.
No. The air freshener is on deck. My wife is, all right, yeah. Go ahead, Bobby. I don't want to get in trouble.
So, bro, oh, man, I want to have this conversation because it's such a, we're going to get to probably the more sensitive parts of the conversation of being a musician in church and balancing being great at your craft, but also serving in ministry and what that looks like. But, man, I want to go back to, like, the Genesis, man. I remember, man, running around even before Gideon really hit. Like, I remember running around to the praise nights and all of that stuff. And so, of course, you grew up in church. Dad's a pastor. Shout out to Pastor Kenny Spears. We love your dad, man. It's not hard to see how you got your grace and your humility because your dad is the exact same way. And so church is the launch pad of what the Lord has done in your life. The drummer, God has taken you all over the world, but all that started at church. Talk about how you just got started and when you knew you was gonna play the drums and then how it kind of took off.
Well, for me, it started, Kojic. I grew up at the Kelsey Temple Church of God in Christ on 1435 Park Road, Northwest. That's funny. I still know the address. But I grew up there, and for me, it was just, church was such a huge part of my family's life. My grandmother, my dad, my mom, like we were at church every Sunday. From the morning time to the night, from Sunday morning to the afternoon, YPWW to the broadcast, later on that evening. That's when they broadcast on 1340
WYCB, yeah.
Shout out to Lucille Banks, Robinson Miller. I'm a product of the area, and for me, church was very much a way of life, and to be able to be touched and influenced by the music at the church. I honestly didn't know that music was going to be the vehicle that allowed me to do the things that I've been able to do. I just knew that I loved it and I enjoyed it, and it was fun. And I'm thankful for the people that were there at church that saw something in me that helped to kind of cultivate, and they encouraged me. They pushed me. They were very, very kind to me, even though I wasn't sweet. Like, music is just like anything else. There's some people that take a fast track and they're just immediately they're virtuosos and they're just incredible what they do. But then there's most people, it takes time, and you learn, and there's steps to kind of get to where you're trying to get to, and you develop over time. And I was one of those that was a developer, so I spent a lot of time sitting on the first pew of the church with my sticks in my hand, air drumming and mimicking what it was that I was seeing that was fashioned before me. So for me to be able to be in a culture where they were kind enough to push me and encourage me. Even to this day, man, it's like I look back upon the lessons that I learned there at that church that have helped me tremendously.
Yeah, you mentioned that, man, and of course, I start smiling and my face hurts because what you just described is my son, Joey, who every Sunday he's sitting on the front row. He ain't never been to children's church ever. He don't know what children's church look like because he's on the front row mimicking the drummers and man, I didn't think I was gonna say this on camera, but publicly, man, I just want to say thank you because you're his favorite drummer. He's been watching you since he was a kid.
I appreciate it so much.
And every time he sees you, and every time you see him, you are so gracious to him, and you are so kind and so generous. And man, I don't have the words to express how grateful I am as a father that you pour into my son that way, man.
For sure. I just think it's important. You know, it's important. I really believe, man, that you know the reason that God put us here on this earth is to be able to encourage and inspire each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And I just feel like, you know, being encouraging is it's a big thing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for that, and just what you pay forward is, man, is probably, in my opinion, will be probably your greatest. The greatest thing you do with all the stages that you've been on.
I hope so.
Yeah.
The legacy is important.
Absolutely.
You know? So it'll be the things that will carry on once I'm gone. You know, the things that you do in this life will echo throughout eternity. You know, once you're gone, and I think it's important for those things that echo, you know, from me to be positive and to be encouraging and hopefully inspiring to the next generation.
Absolutely, man. Man, even as we talk about this thing, this idea of everybody hates church, man, it just occurs to me as the skeptics and the critics of church downplay the value of church, and I'll just go ahead and say the black church. And if we're honest with each other, we have a whole generation, probably 2 or 3 generations of the greatest music artists of all time, and we can thank the church for that. If there's no black church, we don't have Whitney Houston. If there's no black church, we don't have Usher. If there's no black church, we don't have Beyonce. It's what you described is how do these people know that they are great singers? They sang in church. They were in the choir. They got the solo on the 4th Sunday Youth Day. You know, it's like that's where we found the greatest artists of all time. We found them in church.
Greatest artists and greatest musicians.
Absolutely.
Like, so many of our musicians come from church. Now it's to the point where the artists that are looking for musicians or looking for bands, a lot of times they look directly at the church because the best musicians, the most well-rounded musicians, the musicians that are used to playing for people, the musicians that are used to playing along with people. They know how to respect the music. They understand different gears. You know, they're able to support. A lot of times these artists are looking for the best of the best, and you know, they comb Instagram or they comb YouTube or you know, talk to different people to kind of get a feel. But it all comes from the church. It stems from here. Now the crazy thing is, you know, I know you said, and everybody hates the church, but sometimes, man, the church hates the people.
Let's get it.
It's unfortunate that, you know, when people do step out to do these other things, to do other gigs, sometimes it's not so welcoming.
Yeah.
The church doesn't necessarily welcome that. And I say that because I remember for sure when I started playing with Usher, people were some people were happy. You know, a lot of people were happy. They were like, man, this is fantastic. This is great, Aaron. This is awesome. But then there were also people that were like, oh man, you about to lose your life.
Oh man.
Oh dude, your salvation. It's so I can't believe you.
Yeah.
You know, so instead of being encouraging,
especially in Pentecostal circles, the holiness circles, where
instead of being
that secular music, that devil music.
It's devil music.
Yeah.
So instead of being encouraging and you know, just being positive in that sense, and being prayerful in that sense, and empowering.
Yeah.
Even looking at it from the standpoint of, somewhat missionary work, go ye therefore, teach all nations. It's kind of, I'm not necessarily preaching, because that's not my thing, but the life that I live has to reflect, who it is that I am, and hopefully that light that I have would be able to draw people to Him. But the church didn't necessarily see it that way. It was a bit of a struggle,
man,
for a while.
Yeah.
Until you get to certain platforms, like you meet Oprah, and it's like, oh God, oh, yes, oh, I knew it. Yeah, he's good. Yes, yes.
Look what the Lord done. You got to meet Oprah.
It's crazy, but it's true.
So tell me about you. So you are hitting exactly where I wanted to go, man. Thank you, because of course. So take us through that journey. So Gideon Band. So start out with Gideon Band. Yeah. Shout out to DMV's own Gideon Band. If you're not in the gospel music like that, you're not familiar with Gideon Band, just figure it out. Check yourself and go to iTunes. If you ever heard that song Your Majesty and you thought it was Bishop T.D. Jakes, it ain't. That is a Gideon Band original written by one of the founding men, Warren Jones, one of the founding members of Gideon Band, man. And so man, Gideon Band. When Gideon hit, and we realized it wasn't just a DMV thing, like it was something, and there was a couple of songs. There was a couple songs on that CD, man, where they just kind of let you go, and we knew what tracks those were.
I'm very thankful for the band allowing me to be able to be expressive, and because of those expressions, it afforded me a lot of attention.
Sure.
Just that platform was really big. Again, like I said earlier about how a lot of artists, they look at church, they look at church musicians and, kind of what's hot or who's emerging and this, that, and the other. And Gideon Band was really, really hot to the point where we were traveling up and down the East Coast. We even played like GMWA, which Gospel Music Workshop of America, in Cincinnati and New Orleans. Like, we were doing a lot of traveling, and it gained a lot of attention. We had a lot of eyes on us.
Yeah.
And in those moments where people are watching, I was able to play and really be myself.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because the attention that already was on the band, just because as a band we were really different. We were kind of like Earth, Wind, and Fire, like a mint condition. Like that was our vibe, or that was our blueprint. So we already had a lot of attention on us, but in that attention and in those moments, for people to see something in me and the way that I was playing and my expression, it was a blessing.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of those things that I can't take credit for. Right. I wish I could say, yeah, bro, it was all me. I was killing so crazy. It's not that. It's really in those moments, like, God just decided to shine a light, like right on me. Like, I don't know if you ever, like if we were right here in this place right now, and we're sitting here on the stage and we're talking, like, if these lights aren't working and they're not shining on us, you're really not going to be able to see us. It would be really dark. It's the same thing with my life and with my playing. The only reason why people were able to see it or to experience it or to feel it is because of the light that He's directly shining on me. So I don't know.
So let me give you're humble, so I'm gonna give you the other side of it because I was there. I was there. I think we were traveling to North Carolina somewhere, and it's one of these church trips.
Yeah.
And we're going to North Carolina on the church van, on the Jesus Mobile. and we're all kind of goofing off on the church van, but you got your headphones in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, so Aaron, what are you listening to? And you couldn't even explain to me what you were listening to, because it's not like you was listening to the top 40, right? It's not like you. And so I put the headphones in, and it's a drummer, and you are practicing in your head this whole and so it's the light, but God can shine light on somebody who ain't ready.
Yeah, that's true.
God can shine light on somebody who hasn't been putting in the work. God can shine light on somebody who hasn't been honing the requisite skill that God has put in. And that's something that, man, if we look at you and say, man, God can do that with anybody. Yeah, he could, except the people who ain't putting in the work. and so no, I just want to appreciate the fact that God did shine a light and has been shining a light on you, and the fact that you, when the light came on, you had put in the work. You had prepared. And
a friend of mine told me, man, he's like, one of the worst things you could do is to be in the end zone, wide open. The ball comes to you and you drop it.
You not catch
it. You've done everything that you can do to be able to get to this moment, and you're not prepared, you're not ready.
Absolutely.
And I never want to be that person. So I spend a lot of time listening. I spend a lot of time preparing. I spend a lot of time practicing. Just to be ready for, whatever was coming.
So the door swings open.
Boom.
The MD for Usher's band sees you play. And
actually, even before he saw me, a friend of mine, Gerald Hayward, was listening to the Gideon Band CD in his hotel room, and he was working with Mary J. Blige at the time. Usher's musical director was hanging out with them, and he was doing like maybe some program and stuff like that, and he happened to walk into Gerald's room, and Gerald had the CD on, and he asked him, "Who's that on drums? Who's playing?" He's like, "Oh, that's my friend. That's my boy Aaron from DC." He's like, "Man, do you think he'd be interested in the Usher gig?" And they asked me, all right.
Live
audience. Oh, this is great. So he asked me if I would be interested in the gig. And, they called me, and, initially I felt like, I had gotten calls for like a lot of random things, and stuff didn't pan out, whatever. So when this call came through, I was just kind of like, yeah, man, sure, whatever. And they asked me to make a videotape of myself playing. I did what they asked, and they selected me to be his drummer.
Man, that's
but it was
amazing.
Really, again, thank you. Again, it was like I couldn't have. There was nothing that I could have done to set that up.
Absolutely.
Again, like it's one of those moments that I just know that that's something that God did. He happened to walk into his room while the CD's playing.
Yeah. That's not a door you kick down, right? Yeah, that just happened, and God desired. That's and so with that being so clear, and I know you talked about it before, but I just want to hit it real quick. How did your family respond when you said that you was about to go on tour and play the secular, secular, and then how did other believers, other Christians respond?
So my dad, Pastor Spears was like, "Man, I'm proud of you," because he knew that this is something I had prepared for. This is something I had wanted. This was something I desired. I wanted to be able to see the world. I wanted to travel. I wanted to play. I wanted this as a career. So he was extremely supportive. My mom was like, "Usher, what church is that?" She was like,
"Which Usher?"
Usher, and then
where's white gloves at?
And then I showed her a videotape of Usher performing, and she was like, "Oh no, like you don't want to play with Fred Hammond or like Kirk Franklin or one of those nice gentlemen, because she immediately saw the women, she immediately saw the man with the shirt off and the body rolls and all that, you know what I mean? So it was there. So she was not initially on board. I told her I wanted to see the world and I wanted to travel. And she recommended, maybe she'd go into the Army. that would be a great thing for you. I can see you doing that, and I had to stand up to my mom, and I had to say to her, "Mom, this ain't it. I'm sorry. You know, this is my dream. This is what I believe it's supposed to be. I believe God brought me to this opportunity for a reason, and this is what it's going to be." And it wasn't until she came to the show and she saw what it was, and she got to go backstage. She got to see, you know, she actually started opening up doors to see if there was any scantily clad women in these rooms. You know.
She took her oil with her. She in the back praying over everything.
Had the oil. You know, but when she actually came to the show and she saw what it was, this is when it was the Verizon Center. She came there and she saw, you know, how it was laid out and how everybody had a job and how everything was very well organized and it was clean. It was totally the opposite of what she thought it was going to be. And that's when her support kicked in like
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you're on the road. You're a believer. You walk with Jesus. You're looking around, and you're on the road with Usher. You're on the road with Ariana Grande. You're on the road with did you play for Beyonce, or you were just on the road on the same tour?
No, she came and she did this one thing with Usher in Puerto Rico.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Which was cool. But
yeah. So tell us what it's like being, because you said preaching's not my thing, but the life I live speaks for me, and just being in that space as a light in a dark space. Tell us what it's like. Tell us how the Lord grew you as a witness, and maybe even some times where you've been discouraged in that season.
Oh man, so for me, being there in those particular places, like I'm not down for everything.
Right.
What they say about, you know, the music world, everything being accessible is so true. Like if it's drugs you want, it's there. You know, if it's women or guys, I don't know, whatever you're into. That's how it is these days. But whatever it is that you're looking for, it's personified. You can get to it if that's what you want. For me, I just always felt like things work better for me when I'm true to myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm true to myself, and I'm true to who it is that I know God has me to be. And I think that came about for me as a young man. You know, I'm thankful to my parents and my grandmother for the foundation that they gave me of being in church, because it really helped me to kind of stay close to that. Even out on the road, I would try to find churches to go to if I had a Sunday free. Like I would call up my boys and be like, "Yo, I'm in Chicago. Oh man, come through. I'll come pick you up." You know, it's just that always felt like home to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So as far as that part, that part was never difficult. The hard part for me, as I, you know, getting older and relationships and marriage and stuff like that, the hard part for me was just staying balanced with my family. Like that's probably the most difficult part. I think everyone gets so excited about, you know, the touring and seeing the world, and you know, all that's great, but it pales in comparison to being able to be close to the people that you love. Like my son, who I don't know where he is.
We're gonna find him.
It's tough. It's tough being away from him, because now he's at the age where he's asking me,
"Yeah,
Dad, how many more sleeps, man, before you get home?" Like you know, I know you're working, but man, your job, it sucks, bro. You know, so those things, you know, sometimes can be very difficult in this industry.
Gotcha, man. So I'm about to ask you a question that I know we're not going to be able to answer quickly, and it's for a whole nother podcast, but just real quick, because you are, as you said, you're coming off the road a little bit and spending some more time at home, and so kind of back in the church musician scene, and man, I know it's, especially in the DMV, man, it's a very competitive space. What and you talked about how, you know, the church doesn't always treat our folks the best way. Like, you know, everybody hates church, and sometimes for good reason, right? What could we do better as a church to take good care of our musicians?
Communication.
Yeah,
is the first thing that I think of. You know, I know sometimes we live in these spaces where you know, all the information is not for everybody. You know, you kind of keep certain things to yourself. You kind of hold on to things just because you feel like that's the protocol. But for musicians, like, we actually, we are people as well, and we have lives and we have schedules, and it's kind of difficult for us to just kind of drop everything and you know, at the drop of a hat, you know, to be able to support the way that we want to support if we don't have the proper information and communication. Like, for me, it's very important to spend quality time with my son.
Yeah.
And to spend quality time with my wife.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to do that if I'm not able to properly plan my week out. You know, so, you know, Monday through Thursday, you know, I haven't got any communication as far as what's happening, what's going on. But then Thursday night, all of a sudden, you know, I got to drop everything to learn music for Sunday morning. Then that means that my family suffers. I have to sacrifice my time with them, you know, because we've planned something on Friday night, but now I got to say, you know what, babe, I actually got to learn this music because I feel such a strong commitment to be excellent and to be great, especially if that's what God deserves. If he deserves greatness and he deserves excellence, I have to give that to him. Then something is going to suffer. I can't juggle everything.
Right.
It's not possible. But if communication is up front and it's on point and it's what it's supposed to be, then I can properly plan to make sure that I'm doing everything that I need to do.
That's
and
good.
My family's not going to suffer.
That's good.
Because really, my first ministry is not the church. If I have to choose between the church or my family, I'm going to choose my family. As much as I love the church, appreciate that. As much as I love the church, and as much as, you know, the church has been an extreme blessing to me, it's, hey, my guy.
We found him. I told you we was going to find him.
Welcome back. But as much as, you know, like I said, the church is so important, you know, and doing his work is extremely important to me. But if I have to choose between the two, I'm going to choose my family.
Yeah.
So church is going to take a hit.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't. You know, so if we do all things well, you know, here we are, you know, we communicate and we speak and, you know, we speak in other tongues and, you know, all of that, then we should be able to be on point and communicate and hit these benchmarks and talk in ways that we can effectively move forward.
Yeah, because, I mean, in a perfect world, you shouldn't have to choose. In a perfect world, there's alignment where your ministry to the church doesn't put you in conflict with your family, but it puts you in alignment with your family. And if we could, you know, that's not an easy thing to figure out, but it's something that we really got to.
Unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world.
Yeah, yeah.
So unfortunately, we don't have perfect communication, and we have a lot of conflict where things rub like that.
Sure.
And in those moments, like, you try to do the best that you can and be as graceful and supportive as possible, because we are a team. And nobody's perfect. So you can't put the blame on anybody. You can't blame somebody for not putting the information in planning center. You can't do that. That's not it's really not, it's not fair to them, because honestly, they also have a family.
Absolutely.
So there are things that they're going through, and you never know the things that are dumped on them at the last minute. But the cool thing would be, in those moments of dumping, you know, sometimes someone might just say, hey, man, keeping it 100, there's been a lot that's going on. Just bear with me.
Yeah.
Hang tight. I got you.
Yeah.
Because then that makes the team feel like we're a team, and I'm not just taking orders. I'm actually a part of a team.
Sure.
You
Absolutely.
know what I mean?
Absolutely. Can y'all say thank you to Aaron Spears? What a blessing.
Whatever you want, whoa, whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. Oh, whatever you need, there's nothing I won't do. Oh, whatever you want.
Oh, for the people that didn't hear me, what I said was, that's the man that we lost. That's the man that we know. That's the man that we love. It's hard right now to process this. Then I said, I will be going live tomorrow afternoon to address the lies that's said, the sneak things that's being put out there behind people's backs. And I will address it. Then I said, Dream Team, put your war clothes on, because tomorrow we going to war. Just know that y'all started it. I'm going to finish it. On that note, y'all have a good night. I'll catch everybody tomorrow. Peace.
Whatever you want, whoa, whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. Oh, whatever you need, there's nothing I won't do. Oh, whatever you want, oh, my heart belongs to you. I say whatever you need, whatever you want. Oh, yeah.